Hi, I'm Kyla La Grange and you're watching Pocketsoul, the show that has a party in a bus.
Pocketsoul wird dir präsentiert von Orange Young.
Willkommen. Mein Name ist Sally. Sie haben Pocketsoul geladen. Bitte identifizieren Sie sich. Chris Hanselmann. Neues Update. In 3, 2, 1.
Sally, nicht abstürzen jetzt.
Chris,
komm.
entdecke Überlastung. Scanne Gehirnwellen. Entdecke lauter kleine weibliche Menschlein im Traum. Die sind aber süß. Registriere Aufwachphase. Chris, süß geträumt?
Das war jetzt noch schön.
Für einmal keine Panda-Bären?
Nein, es waren keine Panda-Bären das Mal. Es war mehr so... ein Einhorn.
Die sind laut meinen Daten leider schon lange ausgestorben. Suche weitere Fabelwesen.
Ja, Sally, das ist sie. Das ist die vom Traum. Hast du noch mehr von der?
Lade Kyla La Grange. Gleichsam kraftvoll wie auch engelshaft bewegt sich Kyla La Grange in einem eigens kreierten Sounduniversum, das immer irgendwie traumhaft klingt. Die Londonerin hat in Cambridge in Philosophie abgeschlossen und gehört zu den vielversprechendsten Künstlerinnen, welche die britische Insel zu bieten hat. Einhörner, herzlich willkommen.
Ja? Gell? Das die Kamera. Die macht ja nichts.
Ich lass dich mal spielen. Interview ab, Kyla La Grange.
Kyla! Kyla La Grange in the van, what an honor. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's probably the smallest TV studio in the world.
It's amazing.
Or have you ever been in a smaller one? Maybe in East London somewhere?
I did it once in a festival in England. I did another thing similar to this in a van, but it wasn't as proper as this.
Yeah.
There wasn't all the cameras, and
All right.
this is.
It wasn't as
big
cozy
time.
as our van,
Yeah,
right?
this is real.
Cool. So you feel comfortable? You have your bottle?
Yeah, very comfortable.
Great. We just noticed that there's actually almost only stunning pictures of yours, really. You could work as a model too, no? Or have you? Or will you? Or no?
Sometimes I'm with an agency in England, but I always feel very awkward. I don't know. I think it's very impressive.
Awkward, no?
Yeah, it's very impressive when people can just walk out of a car and be like, I can't do that. I feel very, very strange. But all my photographs that I do for my music and for a lot of the live ones as well. My friend Debbie, she's an amazing photographer, and we do everything, like all the visual aspect. I always talk to her, and we work out what we're gonna do, and we create like a sort of fantasy that we want to put things in. And,
All right.
Yeah.
So is it then the fantasy world you're creating with Debbie? Maybe is it a way of escape from reality?
I don't know if it's a way of escape, but I've always loved just like fantasy and pretend games, and like when I was a kid I loved making up worlds and put myself in the world. I mean, maybe it is escape, but I'm pretty happy in the real world as well.
All right. So in that pretend games, what was your favorite character then?
Oh man, I had
In
a
a fairy
few.
tale.
Probably my favorite one was there were two sisters who were in a plane crash over the Amazon rainforest, and
Oh, that kind of.
yeah, and so
Stories.
they built they crashed in the middle of nowhere, and there's no one, and so I had to build, and then I lost my sister, and I had to build a huge network of tree houses, and I survived in the rainforest, and I built I lived on my own for like years and years, and I had like pathways like not Robin Hood, Peter Pan, like all through the trees, and I knew all the animals. I knew it was great. I used to play that one all the time.
All right.
A lot of them were like me, lost in the forest.
Is it then if people do compare you with mermaid-like characters, is it annoying for you or is it flattering?
No, with a mermaid, that's like the best thing you could ever.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
brilliant. A mermaid or a unicorn, they're brilliant.
Yeah, talking about unicorns. I mean,
Yeah.
I just found that picture. What
Yeah,
was that?
my mum, she made that for me.
That's your
Yeah,
mum?
she made it out of pottery because she goes to pottery classes and she's
Okay.
always making things. And she knows that I like unicorns, so she made me a
So,
unicorn.
but you're still addicted to animals, right?
Yeah, I
That's
made
what
that. I was bored and I made that.
Okay.
I found it really funny and nobody
Yeah,
else,
we
nobody
too.
else found it funny.
No, but we find it
Like
funny
if I
too.
post on Instagram, if I post something of like a nice dress looking pretty, everyone's like, yeah, like. Then if I post something that's actually funny or interesting, everyone's like, meh, don't get it. No, not interested. It's really
Well-
depressing.
When I see pictures like this, I'm asking if you could time travel, would you rather go in the future or in the past? Where would you land? With Doctor,
don't
with
think
Doc
that-
DeLorean, you know, from Back to the
Yeah,
Future.
I don't think I wouldn't go to the future because the future's going to be horrible because we're all going to just ruin the planet and it's going to all end. It's going to end in a ball of fire and everyone's going to die. So I wouldn't go to the future. I'd probably go to the 60s and go to Woodstock and
To Woodstock.
Yeah.
With the pink hair, it
Just
would
when
fit very well.
when people like believed that they could change things, you know, when people weren't disillusioned and that corporations didn't run the world. So yeah, I'd probably go back then.
All right. If you could call someone, maybe back in the days, back in the 60s, because we have a little special thing for you here. So if you have that one call in our Pocket Soul band, who would you call? What would be your choice?
Nelson Mandela.
So, hey there, is it Nelson? Mandela Nelson? You might know Kyla La Grange. Yeah, that one. So I'll pass you over to her. All right, it's Nelson.
Hey Nelson, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, he says, how are you? He didn't get a chance to ask.
Okay.
How are you?
Me.
Yeah, how are
I couldn't be better. I'm with
He
Kyla
says,
in the van.
has your rash cleared up?
My rush? Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, he says it has a bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I was just calling to say hello. And I hope you're really well up there. I hear it's fun. Okay. Bye.
No questions?
No. She made me really fun.
Your mother actually is from Zimbabwe, no?
My dad
It's
is from Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe,
My
and your
mum's
mother
from
South
South
Africa.
Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever imagined how your life would have turned out if you grew up in Zimbabwe or South Africa?
Yeah, well, all my cousins still live there, and all of our family still live there. So we go back quite a lot. So I don't think it would have been that different, other than like the fact that I think if you grow up in a place that's got really, really stark divide between rich and poor, like that does have a huge impact on you. I know, like my dad has, both my parents, I think they have a lot of sort of like. Like white guilt that you carry with you if you grow up in a place like that. I mean, that's the reason they moved to the UK, is because they didn't think apartheid was going to end, and they didn't want to bring that. My mum had got pregnant with me, and they didn't want to bring their children up in a like sort of racist, like institutionally racist country. But I mean, obviously now it's very different.
You feel more comfortable in the studio than on stage, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, I'm much more of a songwriter than a performer. So I mean, the studio is nice as well, but for me, my favorite thing is just being at home. And when you write the song from scratch, when you go from having nothing to having a song, and that for me is the really magical part. But the first album was really, I was really depressed, very unhappy a lot of the time, and I'd been through some bad breakups. So I had a lot of like guilty feelings and
But
bad
that's a good
feelings.
mood not to write good albums.
So I wrote this song all crying over my guitar, basically. Like just every song was like late at night written, in tears, very angsty, and I needed to get it out of me. It was a very like labor of love type album. But then as you get older, you just become, I find I just become like more peaceful, I guess. And I felt very, very happy with everything. And so I found this old keyboard I had when I was a child, which brought back so many memories. And I started writing because these sounds just brought back these thoughts and feelings. And I didn't even realize at first that I was writing a second album. I was just playing around with these old sounds, and it was really fun. And it was a completely different way of writing than the first album, because I wasn't writing about emotions that I was feeling at the time. You know, I wasn't like stuck in these really like wretched feelings and trying to get them out. I was just sort of telling stories about things that happened in the past. So it was a much more free, it felt like a more free way to write, I guess. Yeah.
Actually, as a ritual, at the end of the show, we always try to jam a bit. I'm not sure if you're in with me. I try to jam a bit. Cut your teeth. You know. Maybe I need to hand you over a microphone. That would work better. Just starting in, doing something, and then we'll see what happens. All right?
Okay.
This is your mic.
Okay.
Didn't I make it harder? Didn't I leave you there? Was it too much to ask you why it is you still care? You cut your teeth on the lack of answers, and you come back home and it don't feel the same. Well, I play words onto a page for you, and you never knew my name. Come, go, break your bones, they cut you up and never let go. Swing low, play your show, call your mother, say take me home. Light smoke, don't say no, you're another man down if you let them know. I
Was lachst du so blöd? Hast du World Wide Web daheim? Wäre gut, weil am Montag kommt auf worldwideweb.pocketsoul.20minuten.ch.
Ja, wer denn? Du darfst auch mal.
Frank Turner. Frank Turner.
Ja genau, Frank Turner ist für seine energiegeladenen Auftritte bekannt. Das wird sicher eine geile Show.
Pocket Soul wurde dir präsentiert von Orange Young.